Hey, what's up, collecting crew, and welcome to How You Figure, episode 7. I'm Jay Feezy. This is Feezy's Figures. For those that aren't familiar, How You Figure is a series of videos / live stream where we discuss a topic in particular, something specific related to collecting. So, for instance, the first episode was variants versus cash grabs. I know that's come up a lot. I did another one on comparing the upcoming 1/6 scale cat women, right? And then there's a few of them on recaps, 1/6 scale figure recaps, mostly Hot Toys, but there's as of late there's been some other players. So yeah, there's a couple of them. There's a playlist in there if you're interested. You can always check out the playlist section. I have a How You Figure playlist going, but for this one in particular, accuracy versus preferences is what we're going to be focusing on this episode. I don't anticipate it going too long, but we'll see how that goes. I already have my panelists here who I'll introduce here in a second. But yeah, I know technically accuracy could be considered a preference, or it is a preference, but for the sake of this discussion, I'm differentiating, and I'll go into more into that later as we kind of go into specifics and we get more into our discussion. But yeah, thank you for joining. For those of you who are tuning in live, first and foremost, thank you for joining us with this and hearing us out in this discussion. Feel free to participate in the chat if you'd like, and I'll try to go through whatever comments I can. Apologies in advance if I don't get through all of them, but I'll try to bring up some of those. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for jumping on and checking this out on the replay and catching us and listening to what we had to say, sharing our thoughts and opinions. I will say in advance, this is just meant to be kind of like an open discussion to get different perspectives from collectors. Now I've known these guys for a while here on the panel, and we may have some others joining us. And so I would think more or less I know what their preferences are, but I figured it'd be good to kind of go around and share our overall how we decide what figure we want to buy, and as far as that being, again, accuracy, or if we have certain preferences in mind. And I know they differ between all of us, and so this is more meant to not to sway anyone. It's just, again, more just to give another perspective, because I know you've seen comments for certain figures about, hey, why don't you do this, or I like this, I don't like this. And for me, I'm kind of more curious about that thought process. I'm like, okay, we only ever see certain comments like, why don't you add this? But to me, I'm thinking, okay, like why would this person want this versus this? And so that, again, this is just meant to inform and share experiences and opinions, and in a respectable way. Just remind everyone, like I mentioned, if you're in the chat, feel free to partake, but let's please keep it civil, respectful, follow the guidelines I have in there, challenge the argument and not the person. I do have my moderators here on standby just in case I can take action if needed to. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I haven't really had issues, but I've just in case, right? Just in case. But overall, it's just meant to be fun. Like we were saying backstage at Magnus, like Valkyrie Magnus here mentioned, this is meant to be fun and just openly talk figures, right? And just share our thoughts and our passion for this hobby, this collecting hobby. But with that, I already mentioned, with me here, my panelists, I have Valkyrie Magnus, Windman 42, Xman Supreme, and Blue Tattu as of now. I may get 2 other panelists to join me in this conversation. They may come on a little later, but if they do, they'll jump on. They'll add to the discussion. If not, no worries. I'm sure they might be tired from the long day at work, so it's all good. Regardless, it'll be us rocking here for now. Like I said, thank you all for joining us in the chat. Speaking of, real quick, let me address the chat doing double duties. We got Magnus here in the chat and on the panel, as well as Windman 42 and yeah, Ding Dong Fools. Yeah, that's the clean version. Xman Supreme there, and then Eddie Rodriguez in the house. What's up, Eddie? Thank you for coming through. Wang Chung Fools. Yeah. But gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? Oh, I think you're all still muted. Yep, I see all your muted signs.
Doing great. It's happy to be here.
2 out of 5. Yeah. There's Blue. Okay, we got you.
Good.
Yeah, Blue, our correspondent on the field. Yeah, he has good reason to not be on camera, but we can hear him. As long as we can hear him, that's all that matters. And I'm sure he'll be weighing in and giving his thoughts on that. But fellas, you ready to get into this?
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, like I said, accuracy versus preferences, again, for the sake of this discussion. I do have some figures from different companies that we're going to show up on screen. But before we get into certain specific figures or companies, actually, let's go around here and just give some thoughts on So the question being, how do we collect as far as like which figures do we buy, or how do we know whether we're going to pull a trigger on a figure? Is accuracy a big selling point on a figure? And of course the price, I think the price is a given for a lot of people, so we'll kind of put that aside. But after that, do you need a figure to be really accurate to the source material, or are you a little more flexible and you prefer things like, I don't know, value or features or accessories, maybe certain materials? But yeah, things like that. How do you lean as far as what makes you decide to pull the trigger on buying the figures? So we'll start with Windman. What are your thoughts on that? You're muted. Yeah. Windman 42. There you go.
What kind of thing you running here, man? No.
Yeah. Go
so
for
you
it.
expect me to click stuff and talk?
What is this click? That's for babies.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm flexible. I have quite a few third-party figures. So if I'm spending $150, I don't really care. Like, yeah, it's vaguely Spider-Man. I'm good with that, But if you start dipping into like, which I haven't yet, like InArt or somebody like that, for that amount of money, I'm kind of looking for a lot more,
I see.
But in general, I'm not very, I'm not the screen accuracy dude. Like, oh man, like the threads on this are not right. I don't really care. When I look at the picture, I look at the figure in my display, like, yep, that's Spider-Man. That's Dr. Doom. Like, I'm pretty easy that way. I don't get too, unless it's something super egregious, like, the colors are wrong or something like that, but as a whole, I'm pretty easy going with it, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page on that front. Like, I think it sounds like we have similar things we look for in figures. But Magnus, what about you? Where do you lean more towards? Are you more like you want your figures to be accurate, or are you a little more flexible, also like Windman myself?
I'm more flexible as well because sometimes, let's say, one figure isn't exactly how you want it, but the completist in me says, get it anyways, because you may not even see that figure in the future. And so I've done that before, and so far, it hasn't bit me. I think maybe once, where I did buy like a cheaper thing, and suddenly there was like a nicer version, but that only happened once to me. But definitely, I will buy like what do you call it? Some of those other companies, when they'll make a figure that's not out there and I have to get it in my collection, I'll bring it in.
I see. Yeah. So like the representation, if you see something, you just want some sort of representation of that in your collection?
Yes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yep. I hear you. Xman, what about you? I think I already know the answer, but let the folks know who aren't aware.
Well, I think for everybody, it's a sliding scale. It's like you have characters that are your favorites that you want to be 100% correct, no matter what. And then there's characters that you like, but you're okay with they're a little bit fudged. Maybe this guy's forehead is a little bit too big. Okay, I can live with that. But maybe my dude isn't quite the right scale. Well, I'm not happy with that because that's my dude,
Yeah.
So it depends on who you're talking to, what their preference is, what their IP is, who their characters are. It depends on so many things. Will we ever see this character in this iteration again? Is anyone going to make this other than this third party that kind of halfway made this character's cousin? But there's a lot of factors to consider, and I think there's a ceiling for each one, and as long as you can at least meet that ceiling, then I think you're good. But again, it goes up and down. So
yeah, or even a floor, right? Maybe like some collectors have like a minimum.
A floor, right, trash compactor walls,
Yeah. Yep, either one, a max or a min. Yeah, no, that does make sense. Yeah, it kind of sounds like overall it depends, right? To sum it up, it's like for you, it depends. Depends on the figure, right? Blue, what about you? Do you agree with that, or are you more, are you kind of more strict on accuracy, or where do you fall on that?
I am I'm a stickler for details. It's got to be, for me, it's got to be right. Like I can't, you know, even if it's like, uh, you know, a cheaper figure like 150, 175, that for me, a figure like 90% of that figure is that head sculpt.
Gotcha.
The other 10% is now that's just like strictly the figure, not like adding accessories or anything, but like
Okay.
the figure that's like 90% of your sale basically. I mean, if you're it's, to me, I have to have that detail. It has to look like the character, any angle, any distance. You know, for me, I can't look at my, you know, get a figure that's mediocre and have it on my shelf. I can't look at it and just go, ugh, you know, like I'd have to. There's no way I'd buy it. There's no way. It has to have the detail. It has to look like the character. It has to be as close to screen accurate as possible for like the suits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you,
it
Go
has to.
ahead.
It has to have that detail.
I see. So for you, sounds like the main priority is the head sculpt, right? The head sculpt has to be exact, if not spot on to the likeness, and then everything else after that is kind of secondary.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like,
No, that's
well,
fair.
I mean, the body still has to be. It still has to be proportionate. You know, and the tailoring has to be good. So like, it just, well, I mean, but that head sculpt has to be number one, like the most detailed.
Yeah, for you, that's why you're buying the figure, right? You want it. You're buying that representation, and you want it to be like almost 1-to-1, if not very close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. No, yeah, yeah, and I do like how we actually have kind of different perspectives in this. And you know, I know you're famously known for, you know, one of the reasons you don't collect Mondo is, you know, the joints, and you're not alone in that. And Xman,
Yeah.
I know, you know, for as long as I've known you, I know you're particular about heights on figures too. Yeah, so I mean, and you guys, I know you guys aren't alone in that, because I know of other people have made comments on that as well. So, but yeah, like I said, it just gives you an idea of where we're all coming from before we get into these deeper discussions, and how we're all kind of looking at these figures from different angles. So hopefully we got majority of those type of collectors covered. I'm sure we're missing a few of them out there. I know there's collectors out there who just want like everything to be perfect, and again, like no shade on that. You know, it's just
Good
if
luck
that's
with
what
that.
you, if the,
Yeah.
yeah, if that's what you want, that's what you want. You know, it's
Yeah.
yeah, you know, that's your thing. That's what
So
you
that
have
guy
to be
has one
ideal for you.
figure.
Yeah, one, just one, and he's enjoying the hell out of that figure.
Yeah.
He or she, yeah.
Hey, I just want one thing to be right on one character, and I can't even get that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I know, man.
You need to pick a different character. Change your name. The whole thing.
I will never pick a different character.
Yeah, I hear you.
Never. Who we got?
Never.
Who we got? Renz, the talented Renz Solentino house. Thanks for coming through, Renz. We also got Yomo, Tremble Dust. What up, Tremble?
Tremble
Dizzle.
Dust.
Thank you for coming through, good sir. We also got NW Collector in the house. What's up, Larry? Thank you for coming through, gentlemen. Hope you're all doing well. You caught us here just going around the room and sharing our preferences here. All right, so now we're going to get into some examples here that I came across, and we're going to want to get your guys' thoughts on these. So I'm trying to figure out where to start here. I think I'll go ahead and just start with these, since I already have this in this order. But Hot Toys, right? We all know Hot Toys, how they are with inaccuracies to their source material. We kind of hear it a lot, and there's some times where they do get it, and other times where they don't. But one thing in particular, I wanted the reason I picked these two figures here is we were talking about head sculpts. Some of you mentioned accuracies to the actual suits and stuff. I haven't looked too closely on these figures in particular, but what I wanted to touch on was the accessories, right? So one of the things that collectors tend to mention and have preference for inaccuracies with the accessories as well. So granted, I know these here are exclusives, right? These additional accessories you get with these figures only came with the exclusive version or the special edition. But this blade here, and these are just examples, right? I'm sure there's others that you guys can name, and feel free to name them in the chat or in the comments if you want. But, you know, this blade, both of these figures from Deadpool and Wolverine, this blade figure came with his sword with the hilt, interchangeable hilt with the extended, I guess, blades on him. No pun intended there. But right, he didn't have that in this movie, right? But Hot Toys included that in here, so it's not technically accurate to the movie, but they included it, right? So it's an additional item, and it's additional accessory in there because most of us know Blade from the original trilogy, and that's his iconic sword, right? Yeah. So there's that. There was some back and forth with the golden guns for Deadpool. A lot of people were wanting the adamantium skeleton that he had in there, spoilers, but you know, we obviously got that later on and said there was golden guns, and that only came again with the special edition, not with the Deadpool itself. So there's kind of a toss up there if that's accurate or not, but again, these are just a couple examples. But what are your guys' thoughts on giving us on Hot Toys, or just companies in general? I don't want to say Hot Toys alone. Actually, let me go over to the next. I do have some other examples here. So Star Wars, I just realized I had these. Mace Windu, Kit Fisto are some of them. You know, these were both labeled to their respective movies. I believe Mace Windu was episode 2 and Kit Fisto was episode 3 for Star Wars. If I'm not mistaken, maybe I got those reversed, but you know, the movie iterations. But they included their Clone Wars armor on here. Granted, it's just the forearm guards on there, but still, you know, that's based off the Clone Wars, their appearances in the Clone Wars. So again, not accurate to their source material in that sense of what they're labeling, but Hot Toys in this case, again, it doesn't just apply to Hot Toys in general, but I'm just using this as an example. They added more than what was in the source material. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Xman, I'll start from you. I'll start from the bottom and go up there. What are your thoughts on this not being accurate, but companies giving us more?
More is always good because the money is always more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since they don't do die cast anymore on accessories, who knows why, they should do more. Like the Deadpool situation is special because they played that oop-de-oop BS where they gave you the accessories with the clean Deadpool that should have been with the battle damage Deadpool, and they gave you battle damage Deadpool, the accessories that should have come with the clean Deadpool, and they're like, aha, gotcha, mofos. And that was, you know, I was gonna buy both anyway, so I was fine, but not everybody wants both. And you know, thank goodness for customizers. If not for Riley Lowe, some folks wouldn't have the adamantium skeleton bits. And then some of us, like me, who are impatient and can't wait, have both. So I have backups in case something breaks, so I'm covered. But yeah, accessories should always be extra. Blade should always have that sword. He should have had that sword in that movie. That sword was in that movie. It was hanging on the wall, but he never picked it up. And they gave him some weird friggin' kukuri thing. That Blade doesn't use that. That's not Blade's weapon. Get that shit the hell out of here. No, Blade doesn't use that. That's not a Blade weapon. But
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, but it was good that they gave him his, you know, his tried and true, and they even included the little prongs coming out, right? Of the hilt. Yeah, that's
security system.
Yeah, that's great. They should always do that. Never mind that this isn't the Blade that everybody wants. And they didn't finish the resistance to make him even more appealing, which was another bit of dumbness. But yeah, stuff like that is crazy. Like, you got this new Punisher coming out, and he's got a couple of guns. You know, he didn't have a whole, well, he did have a whole arsenal in that one shot, but you didn't see him use it. So he has, like, you know, a gun, a couple of guns that he took from other people in that situation. But like Ben said, Punisher should always have a whole bunch of guns. They should just give him a bunch of guns. It's Punisher. He needs a bunch of guns. Yeah. So there are characters that should have all the accessories. And I would argue every character needs more head sculpts. But that's a whole other discussion. But well, I guess no, it's not. They are still accessories, more or less.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they are.
So yeah. So you should have more of all of that. But that's a thing that you're gonna hit and miss on. It's
Yeah, I like Yomo just reminded me too. He just added here. Yomo saying I was waiting to see that damn baby carry in the movie because of this figure. Yeah, that's true. That's another point I just forgot about. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. But yeah, we never saw him use that in the movie, but yet Hot Toys included that. So I don't know if that was part of a deleted scene or not. I haven't seen them all yet, but yeah. So, but I mean, it's here in the figure. So the Hangover harness there from the Hangover.
But
movie.
it's extra, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's extra. Exactly, it is extra. Blue, what are your thoughts on getting accessories or items that are additional but aren't movie accurate, or source material? I should say accurate to the source material, not just on the movies, but in general.
I love accessories. Like, it's gotta be a whole bunch of accessories, and I don't really care if it's from like that movie. So like, you got a character that's been in like 3 movies, and that's what the character's just in like their first movie, but they included stuff from the second and third, or so that's cool. Then you got the whole package.
Yeah.
But you just throw all the accessories in there. That's all cool. Like having the Deadpool Wolverine blade with his original blade. With his original sword, that's awesome. Like, they should do stuff like that all the time. Kit Fisto, the Clone Wars armor. That's awesome to me. Like, they should throw, as much accessories in there to help sell that figure. And head sculpts are not accessories.
Oh, you don't think they are?
No, that's
like
part of
more
the
than
figure.
one? Like if they have
more
just
than
the
one. Yeah, no, like if you have an additional head sculpt, that's not an accessory. That's
oh, okay.
That's part of the figure.
Okay.
To me, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Windman, what about you? What is your thoughts on getting additional accessories that aren't accurate to the source material?
Yeah, I'm all for that. As long as it's not at the expense of something that everyone would feel is, like Punisher, for example. If they gave us something random that wasn't in the movie, and then like we got one pistol for, then I'd be pissed off. Like, come on. Like, as long as it's not at the expense of something that should come with the character, I'm all for more stuff. I kind of agree that head sculpt's probably the most expensive part of the figure. What with the painting also, I guess that probably isn't really an accessory. I would love to have 2 head sculpts for everything. But yeah, I'm not a big stickler. I don't really care. Like, oh, that wasn't in the movie. Yeah, whatever. You thought of something cool, throw it in there. For the amount of money you're paying, and like the gauntlets or something for Star Wars figures. Like, that's cheap to make. So why not? Because if they didn't have that, you'd be like, oh, I got a stand and a stupid hologram. Like, really? Like, throw what you can in there, But yeah, I am all for extra stuff. I don't care if it wasn't in the film, but if it was in the comic, throw it in there. I'm good, Gives you some other displays, because I'm sure everybody at some point, every couple of months, you're probably revisiting your stuff in the display cabinet. Like, oh, let me pose them up differently, or take this away and put this sword with them or whatever, just to keep things fresh,
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Magnus, what about you? What's your thought on that?
I'm like, give me all you can. Like, even if it wasn't part of the movie, I'm like, I can put it somewhere else, like maybe a sword or something, and then I'll put it on another figure where it actually works with. I was going to say really quick about like how we used to have extra things. Like I remember, like the 2 Supermans I bought from a while back. They give you 2 heads for that one, for the black one and the Justice League version. You had an angry one and the calm one.
Yeah.
But I mean, just going back to what we were talking about before. I mean, I've done that plenty of times where like this doesn't belong with this character. It belongs with this other one. And sometimes like when I try to put stuff away, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. I have to like remember who it actually originally came from.
Yeah, which hand, or if it's like not gloved, it's just like a bare, regular, normal looking hand. Yeah, or a lightsaber, like a green lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, who had this? Yeah, I guess you can look at the hilt in that case.
Something actually happened like a few months ago, where I found like a Hot Toys hand, and I was like, whose hand is this? I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
So it's like an extra.
A bonus hand.
Yeah.
We got Trimble Dust here saying, my thought process on this has always been, if the representation from whatever media the figure is based on only comes with what was shown the figure to interact with, then done. He's good. Okay, so yeah, it's like at a minimum, basically, just as long as what that figure, whatever that figure had in the source material, as long as they come with that, he's good on it.
As long as it's not overpriced.
Right.
Yeah, that's another factor too to consider. Right? Yeah. They're probably gonna, if they're adding more, that means they're probably gonna charge you more. Most part. Let's see. Here's also saying, I would love Trimble Dust also saying, I would love Hot Toys to include purple fingerless gloves for She-Hulk. I more than likely would have copped her in a minute if she did, but not faulting him for not including him. Okay, I see. That's like based on her comic appearance, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Purple gloves and the She-Hulk? Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha.
More
okay.
comic, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I agree with what some of you said, right? It's just the more the better, right? It's like a better value, but hopefully not at the cost of something else, like Windman was saying, or if it's not too pricey. Because another part of it too is, right, even if we get all this extra stuff, are we gonna actually use it? Some collectors would use certain accessories and other collectors probably wouldn't. It kind of is a toss-up of which ones they would use.
Yeah.
But I just like having the options, right? So if you include more and it's not that much more expensive, I'm all for that too, just having those additional options in there as well.
You can mix and match too. I mean, you got this blade that just was released with Punisher's bazooka. You get this new Punisher, give Punisher his bazooka back, give Blade the jacket. Hey,
right.
Maybe.
Hey, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, actually mix and match. Yeah, you can always use those accessories.
Damn, I might keep that blade now.
Hell yeah.
What blade do you have?
Oh, I don't have any of them yet. I'm still waiting on the Resistance blade to show up. But like, they're not doing the rest of Resistance, so why do I get them? I don't. Yeah. I like Blade, but I don't really care that much for this version of him.
Yeah.
I ordered him, and I was going to get Laura anyway. But I ordered him because I'm like, okay, Gambit's coming, and Elektra's coming. I want the whole Resistance. Well, didn't get him, so
yeah. So now
probably not going to keep Blade unless I decide to do the swippity swap.
Yeah, because I'm going to probably get the bearded Punisher, but I won't display him with the jacket on. So that jacket can go to someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I might take a picture or two, but he's not going in the cabinet with the jacket on.
Well, Wayman, I know someone who's looking for a jacket. If you're interested,
I will probably give him to a Blade or something.
I'm just playing. Yeah.
Now, So is making their Blade that's coming out in 2030.
Right.
Oh yeah,
that's right. I forgot about that.
The problem is it doesn't have. I wish it had the 2 head sculpts.
Right.
Like the angry.
Oh, it doesn't. It only has the one.
The first one did. The second one doesn't.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. That one's gonna be based on the first Blade, right? The first Blade movie.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Finally, someone making one from the first Blade. We got Clint Martin in the house. What up, Clint? Thank you for coming through. We're just finishing up here in this first aspect. All right. So there's a particular reason why I wanted to go over that scenario, right? Getting too much because this, as we know, there's always the other side of it too. So don't worry. We'll touch on that, folks. We'll touch on that. But the next thing I wanted to go on to. Yeah, I touch all over it. When I think about. So the next one here, going back onto appearances, right? Not just like head sculpts, but Blue, I think you were the one that mentioned body proportions, and Windman, you mentioned touch on body proportions too. So another one here, we have coincidentally from Hot Toys. I know they just have more figures. Okay, I can't help that. They put out more quantity on figures. So I have here Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka show that Hot Toys put out, right? So on the left we have the figure, and on the right is the actual promo poster, I think, of the show. I think they got that right. One of the things that was pointed out was the body proportion. You can kind of see here. I didn't get this figure, so I can't say for sure, but you guys can hear on the panel. But based on the photos I've seen and based on what a few others have said, it's not accurate to... The figure wasn't accurate to the actual character / actor's like body type in the show. But I didn't really hear, unless I totally missed it, I didn't really read or hear any outcry or pushback or anyone insisting like, hey, that's not, that's not correct, that's not accurate, fix it type of thing. Or probably by then it was obviously too late. But even in the promos, I can't. I'm trying to recall now. That's the photo I should have used, was the promo photo, to see how that would have.
I remember hearing a little bit of outcry about it.
Yeah. So yeah, I heard some people mention it, but you guys tell me if it was more like a huge like push to get it fixed, like we've seen with other figures, right? So this, I would say, like, for me personally, I actually wanted a more slimmed down version. To be honest, I wanted more, like, I would have liked to have a Thrawn more accurate to the Rebels version, and I think a lot of people agreed with that too, but we didn't. This is what we got. So the head sculpt is based on this actor here, Mikkelsen, right? Was it one of the Mikkelsen brothers?
Yes.
And so there's that aspect. But again, like, so if I had to choose one, I would have been okay with this one because he is a little more slimmer, but I know other people wouldn't. But what's your guys' take on that? I think some people actually would be in the same situation that I am, whereas like I would have preferred a slimmer Thrawn as opposed to the actual one. So this isn't accurate, but then it does kind of lean more into certain preferences. What's your take on that? We'll start with that Magnus this time.
And for me on this one, I know the Mikkelsen is a little bit on the heavier side, but I think I would have probably liked it like how it's supposed to be, because he wasn't that thick. But for me, at the same time, I'm just glad we got one, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see here. As I said, if it's just a little bit off, I can live with that. Just to have that representation in my collection.
Yeah. So kind of go back to what you're saying earlier about just as long as you have the representation, you're good, and it's not too far off.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. What about you, Winman? What's your take on just the whole, like, in this case, not being accurate as far as like body proportions and just in general?
Well, in general, I mean, it depends on the character. If it's like the character is like, if they did the Punisher and he's like got a weak, wimpy body, bad. Don't want that. This particular Thrawn, I don't care. I don't really care about the Thrawn character. I mean, book-wise, yes. In TV, I don't really care. I wasn't going to buy this, so I wouldn't have. I don't care one way or another. But I also understand that they're not going to make a specific body for each character. If it's a character that they think they're gonna sell thousands of course.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they don't have like the dad body figures sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's either someone really skinny or someone kind of buff. So I get it, but it just has to fit the character. I kind of, as far as superheroes go, I lean toward the comic representation. So yeah, it kind of just depends on the character. As long as they keep that, nobody wants a skinny She-Hulk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta have those muscles. So in that case, you're gonna have to make a specific body for that. You can't take, one of the Avengers women and just paint her green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or blue, and for the case of like Neytiri from Avatar, just
right,
blue,
right, and
way
again,
all short,
that particular body type for the women in those films, they're tall and very, very lean.
Yeah.
So you can't just take a regular body and paint it, like you said, So, but Star Wars fans can be pretty particular, so I get it. But on the other hand, I'm like, well, in the comics and the way he's described in the books, it doesn't have the body of the Mikkelsen guy.
Yeah.
So why do you want him to look like I don't know. It's to each his own, I'm not knocking somebody. But I just want it to be particular to the character. Maybe not so
essence
much
of the character.
Actor, yes.
Yeah, I see. I gotcha. Yep. Yeah. Oh. What about you, Blue? Do you remember any pushback on this one? Like big pushback on collectors trying to get Thrawn to look more like Mikkelsen did in the show? And then what are your thoughts on how they made him look ultimately in the figure, and if that wasn't the case, like if collectors are okay with that, and your take on that accuracy?
For me, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because Hot Toys is notorious for taking liberties with figures and accuracies. And with this, like, I don't remember hearing a whole lot of complaints about making him thinner, because that's pretty much what everybody wanted. They wanted an more accurate Thrawn. I remember hearing some a little bits here and then, like, oh, he doesn't have the paunch that he did in the show, or here and there, but it wasn't like a whole outcry. This is crazy, inaccurate, nothing like that. So it was just kind of minor. But for me, it makes the figure look better. Because, like I said, that's what everybody wanted. They wanted the Thrawn look from the show, or the books, that kind of Thrawn. But like I said, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because Hot Toys taking liberties there. Where else are they gonna take liberties? Like eyebrows. Hot Toys suck at eyebrows, dude. They slap just modeled eyebrows onto their head sculpts. Like Doc Ock. I've mentioned it before. He's got bigger eyebrows. That's just him as that's just his face. But they gave him super thin eyebrows, and it kind of threw off the head sculpt. And it just, like, them taking liberties like that, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not in certain areas. They gave, I'm pretty sure they gave Boba Fett his paunch in the show. So
from the first Boba Fett from the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
In that version?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep. The one everybody called Boba Fett.
I missed that one. What? Boba Fett.
They called him Boba Fett instead of Boba Fett.
My God.
Yeah. So this one you're okay with, like on the final production?
Yeah.
On this one here?
It looks really good. They made him thinner, but it makes it look better. And Lars Mikkelsen is late 50s, early 60s. He's the older brother of Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
So why couldn't you get skinny for the role? Like, he's, oh, excuse me.
Yeah, no worries. do your thing. I'll go to Xman while Blue's getting that. What are your thoughts on this whole situation on this example?
Well, yeah, this is one of those more favorable ones, right? Because, like everyone's been saying, the character himself is his whole mind body situation is it's part of his character. So this is one of those situations where, and it's hard to tell when Hot Toys are listening or when they're just, doing Hot Toys things and getting lucky.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is one of those points where you want a more idealized version of the character versus what you saw in live action. And this time it worked out. But you got to wonder, did Hot Toys take the Boba Fett criticism on board? Or was this just Hot Toys doing Hot Toys things, and they happened to be fortunate in that this is the one where they can get away with it?
Oh, I see.
Because they're all over the place, right? Like,
yeah,
like they'll go hard on one figure, and then the next figure they put like the D team on it,
Yeah. The good enough team.
Yeah, so you never can tell. I think that worked out in this situation. I heard more complaints about this figure from a costume standpoint. Like, it didn't look beat up enough. Those are the criticisms that I heard. I didn't hear anyone complaining about the fact that he was thinner. In fact, I heard praise for that. Me in particular, I love Rebels. I don't really care about Thrawn that much. I never read the books. I never got into the extra lore. I like Star Wars. I'm not a nerd about it. Like, that's what I have Wolverine for. But like with this, I think it worked out really, really well. I think it's a great looking figure. I think it's silly how they re-released him and basically just, gave him the peen hat and called it good.
Give him with the hat. Yeah, the hat.
Yeah, but I think in this situation it works. It doesn't always work, but this is one of those situations where it ended up being good for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, Tremble Dust here also saying, says, I did hear some like to slim down as it closer resembled Rebels. Yeah, and that's that was, I was in that that same camp there. I mean, I still passed on him because I just didn't like this the casting for this in general, right? Because I just I wanted the character in Ahsoka, the show, to be more like I said, the version of Thrawn in Rebels, and fortunately we didn't get that. But so it was like, it is what it is. So I just passed on this figure because of that. But then again, I know I'm not alone on that one. I've also heard that same preference as well. We got Ben Thomas in the house. What's up, Ben? Thank you for coming through here, everyone. He says, hope you're doing well, good sir. Good to see you in the chat.
Sorry about that.
See here. Yeah, no worries. Okay. You good?
Yep. Yeah, I got an outage I gotta go to.
Oh, so you gotta head out?
Well, I gotta drive. I don't have to head out.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, don't do what you gotta do, man. If you do have to step out, feel free to drop off, and I'll give you a shout out and a plug if you have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Links will be in the description below to my panelist content after the stream. So if you want to check out more of their stuff, their content, show them some love, I'm sure they would appreciate that. But yeah, just and I'll be sure to say that again towards the end here when we do our outros. But yeah, so let's just keep this one in mind. Let's hold this one because I want to come back to this. Ultimately, this is all going to tie together, right? When we come to the end. Again, this is like just one aspect, one side of it. So now, this was inaccuracies related to the character here, but now let's go to this main one. This is one of the reasons. So I've been wanting to do this stream for a while. It just kind of was looking for the right topics or the right time, I guess, to do it, and kind of having to build up basically. And so when now we come to this main part here, there's two items here. So we got the InArt Terminator T800 I think was the one that did it for me. Like, okay, we should have this discussion. And then Jazz Inc. Catwoman here on the right, Batman Returns. I know this was already been in progress for a while, for about a year, if not longer. So kind of they have some similarities, some differences here. I think the main thing for the T800 that I've been seeing and reading is that in art is accurate from what they're saying, right? And they're saying that they are movie accurate for this endoskeleton. I know I have seen some comments and people saying that the proportions might be off, but then others saying no, it's accurate. Here's a still. So to me, I'm kind of impartial to that. I mean, it still just looks like an endoskeleton to me. But a lot of people were also asking for more accessories, and they in art themselves has said, and others have said, you know, well, this is accurate for this endoskeleton, accurate to that end sequence or end scene of the first Terminator movie, right? He didn't have too much. He was just chasing down Sarah and John. So what else can you have with maybe a couple more? But you know, this is what they're providing. As far as features, he did this T800, or sorry, this endoskeleton will have battery operated LED light up eyes, so the eyes will light up, which is cool. But with LEDs or with batteries, I know a lot of collectors in general aren't fond of the LEDs with the battery powered. But you know, as compared to having a USB plug into them somewhere, right? So I can see where if you add that, I presume in our sake is, you know, that's obviously not going to be accurate. You're going to have a wire sticking out of them. And so that's why I'm thinking they didn't go that route. But now collectors are like, no, we don't want the batteries. We want the USB, right? So that's kind of leaning more towards, this is more towards the preference side than the accuracy in this case. For the Catwoman, Yost has been good about getting feedback and putting out since, you know, early production of this figure. And this is kind of actually like a compromise, I think, right? So rather than just make decisions himself, to some people's I guess to some people's, I guess, what do you want, chagrin, for lack of a better word, they just are tired of the options. But Yost is like, hey, you know, what do you guys want? I want to make a figure that works for most people. It seems to be the idea, right? The MO. And so with this is his first official figure that has yet to be released, so we have yet to see it, how it's executed. But the thought that he's going out there asking people, getting polls, and you know, the collectors, they voted, and how to, like, they wanted from the accessories to the material to the body type, but then obviously there's still some others who prefer certain aspects of it to be different. So that kind of already shows you in itself, right? That's probably sums up the differences we all have as collectors. So yeah, these are the main two items here. And then we'll come back after this and tie it all together. But we'll go ahead and start with start from the bottom here again. Xman. So what are your thoughts on the T800 aspect about adding this USB powered with adding a cable to plug into this Terminator, and that being inaccurate versus like the accessories, and then the whole Catwoman situation about just getting everyone's intake or input on the accuracy versus screen accuracy and all that in regards to that figure? What are your thoughts on those?
I think any figure that has a light up aspect should have USB. The argument is always that, well, it's going to look dumb with a cable hanging out. People are going to do that anyway. People are going to do that anyway. It's going to look exactly the same. The only difference is now they went and spent extra money to have somebody do it for them, or they went and spent the extra time and effort in doing it themselves. Like some people like to do it on their own. I am not that person. But I think they should, for the price that they're asking for it, especially. I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot with their first Terminator offering and adding in a whole extra figure and keeping it at a regular price. I think that was a great thing that they did that. But now they got to deal with the other side of that, which is trying to make something else, you know, from that show, from that movie, or anything at all at this point after that, and trying to get a decent price out of it, or even go higher because of, you know, now they're implementing stuff like diecast with this body. So, you know, I think they're still feeling out a few things. They've got some stuff down. I think they're figuring some other stuff out. They've stumbled a few times recently. I think they'll be okay overall. I'm not too worried about InArt and what they're doing, if I'm being honest. They've shown us that they can do well. I think they want to keep doing well. I think they're still a better option in a lot of cases than Hot Toys when you compare apples to apples. So I think they're doing okay. They can fix some things, but it's not the end of the world for InArt. As far as Jazz Inc. goes, the figure thing is still technically new to them. Yeah, they made a third party Vulture before a long time ago. I don't know how many of them they made. I think it could have been a little bit better from what I saw, but at the time, who knows, right? It was a pretty impressive figure overall from what I saw. But I think, there were some little bits and bobs here and there that could have been, had more attention to detail, but that's not what they were really, doing. And this is a licensed piece. This is something that they have to charge a little bit more for. They got to get the likeness and all that. They're working really hard on this one. And I think one thing that we really miss, yes, when there's a problem, we need to let them know because they will look at it seriously, which is why we need people like Yost in this community doing these things. You don't get that kind of care from Hot Toys. You never will.
Yeah.
You can't still get that kind of care from InArt, though they do try. And they do really well still. They do a phenomenal job with their figures. They're still at the top of the game as far as I'm concerned. When you consider what they're charging for their figures, they're not out here trying to sniff their own farts like J&D. They're actually being competition in the space. They're actually driving the hobby forward, which you gotta love that. With what Jazz is doing, I think they might suffer a little bit from option paralysis at times. One thing that we have to understand as a community is for the people who are getting this figure, and I'm all in on this. I got the 2-pack. I'm jumping in the deep end with Yost here because I understand that he himself is not a figure maker, but he's got people around him who know what to do, who know what they're doing. It all comes down to the decisions being made at this point. So I think that's going to be perfectly fine. What we have to understand is while it's good that we can take advantage of the Q&A aspect of Jazz Inc., we have to understand at the end of the day that this is the monster we created.
Yeah.
If there is a problem with the figure, hey, we voted on shit.
Yeah.
Not all of us, but the majority of us decided, hey, we want the stitching to be, a little bit smaller. That takes a little more time to make them do that, but they did it. We decided, hey, we want it to be directly on the suit and not an overlay like he originally was going to do, which was what they were going to do, what they did with the suit, and would have been accurate. We, as a community, decided we didn't want to do that. So it took a little bit extra time for them to figure that out and make it happen. And, we have people now who are like, well, I don't like that. Well, what did you vote for? If you voted the other way, then, you're validating your complaint. But overall, I think there's a little more criticism on Jazz Inc. than need be because of those facts. I think we're going to get a great figure here. And you got to remember, this is their first official figure that they've really been going in on. They've done a lot of stuff to make this look really good. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to, at the very least, it's going to be like InArt's Joker, right? That figure, when it came out, everyone was like, yeah, this is really cool. It did have its issues. And those issues are more apparent now that they've gone further down the line.
Yeah.
So I think that we can afford to have a whole lot of grace for what Jazz Inc. are doing. I think they've proven themselves in the 6 scale space as far as their attention to detail goes, which is half of the battle. The rest is just putting it into action. I think they're doing pretty good with that, if not, doing exactly what everybody wants, because you can't please everybody. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a good figure. I think the shortcomings with the photos being taken in different spaces at different times, not at the same time together with the different, all the aperture and all that stuff.
Right.
I think it's going to be like everything else. You can't really judge it till you get it in hand. That's been the case with everything. So I think this is one of those things. This is going to be the pudding is going to show up, and then we're going to have the proof, and then we can judge better from there. But I am very much looking forward to this Catwoman. Nobody else in the licensed space is doing it. And if I'm being totally honest, I would rather have one from somebody just starting out, like Yost, who wants to put an actual seamless body under this super tight suit, as opposed to Hot Toys. We're going to just put whatever friggin' body they got ready on there with those ugly ass joints sticking through the suit. I don't want that. If Hot Toys made, I've said it several times, if Hot Toys make the same figure, if they announced it right now, obviously for, you know, a much lesser price, some folks are just going to go with that and they'll cancel this because it'll cost them less. I'm not about that. I don't want those ugly ass joints coming through the suit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Give me a seamless body under a tight suit. That's how that's supposed to look. So whoever's doing that, that's the guy who gets my money.
Gotcha. No, yep, definitely fair. Blue, what about you? You still there?
For
Oh, here you go. So yeah, I wanted to see if you were still there first. But going to with the InArt T800, what's your thoughts on it not barely having any accessories, and then their choice to go battery operated as opposed to plugging USB, presumably because it just wouldn't be accurate if they just had a wire coming out of it.
InArt's gotten weird in the past year or so. As far as the Terminator goes, I think it's a little expensive, even though most of, like, what do they say, like 75% of it is die cast.
77.
And it's pretty accurate to the movie from what I've seen. I mean, InArt is like as close to accurate as you can get most of the time. I mean, they kind of strive for that, unlike Hot Toys. But as far as like the batteries and stuff, it's just like it's a convenience thing. I don't know what they like gave that chickie a script about the batteries, and then you got to have a hole for the USB or some shit, and like yeah, you only have to have a hole, like you only have to have a wire come out, have it have it come out his ass, or have it have it come out his leg, or wherever. You don't have to plug nothing crazy into them. It's just like it's very inconvenient to constantly put in batteries, even though they were saying like the battery lasts like 3 hours or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, they did say yeah.
Yeah, but you want it like
whole hours.
I know. Yeah, but you want it on all the time as you're in your office or you're in your collection room. You want it on. You don't want to count down the clock. Oh shit, it's 3 hours. I got to look at my Terminator. Is it on? It's ridiculous. But
set an alarm.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't last 3 hours. Damn it! That was 2 minutes, 2 hours 47.
It's Judgment Day.
Yeah.
do.
But like I said, they've gotten really weird. It's like they listen to certain things, but not other things. It's like for accuracy, they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll take a look at that. But when it comes to like USB, they're like, no, there's going to be a hole that we got to do. Like, well, take that fucking stick, make that powered. You put it in his ass anyway. Boom, that powers him. He just stands there, and you can pose his legs or whatever. Yeah, hit the post. It goes like it goes right in his butt.
Yeah,
USB
I thought you
suppository.
were talking about the magnet stick, but I thought you were talking about that initially. But you're talking about the stand.
Yeah, there's many different ways they can power it, and like you can, like if they had it that way, you can plug it into the USB into the base. You wouldn't even need that. But if they had like a silver wire or something like that to match the figure, like coming out of it, plug it into something. It's
like what is it? Mech suit Tony Stark, or what is it, mechanic, or which one is that one?
Oh yeah, the wires and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
see,
had the
that
wires, like, because that was like accurate to what it looked like, but it was also practical. So yeah, something, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yep.
something like that would have been cool. Yeah, if they
Yeah,
engineered something
yeah.
like that.
That's smart by Hot Toys. And arguing this thing is ridiculous. They just need to go, okay, we'll look into it and see what we can do, instead of going, no, there's a hole we got to do.
Mm.
And then like like the bases and shit, like magnetic base. Like, I don't care about a magnetic base for this guy, because I don't know if it's gonna scratch up the metal, if the,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
but for like other bases, like even that base, like it's in their Pennywise base, like fuck, I could just go into a whole tangent about that, but yeah, they listen to some shit, they don't, and they just discard other opinions on other things.
They're selective. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're saying they're
it is
selective on certain
selective,
things.
and yeah, and they've gotten weird, and
Yeah.
and like Jazz Inc. I mean, they're very receptive on their stuff, but
Yeah.
like in some instances, like the Battle Damage Catwoman, they gave her strands, from the strings, or the thread
threads.
that, yeah, and they looked really big, and so people were like, hey, can you make it smaller? And then I think it was Yoast. They was going, no, we can't make that smaller. And then like 2 weeks later, hey, we made them smaller. So like, questions like that go, we're looking into it. We're, it's constantly in development. Something to think about, because they, they came out with these threads, and like, hey, look how cool this looks, and it looked really good. The threads look big, so and we're like, I can make them a little smaller. It just stuff like that, and like it's nice that like both of these companies actually listen to their consumers, but like Jazz Inc., it's very kind of detrimental to like the release of the figures. Like this Catwoman has gone through like so many changes, and like it's crazy. And before, I remember him saying that like we don't have the time to add in busts, but like,
oh yeah,
man, you change the window. You can't add a fucking bust. Like, I think it's time. Like we got like 4 head sculpts that we could, display, and they just like, and I'm like Xman said, I'm all in too. Like, I got the Catwoman 2-pack. I'm still debating on like the Penguin, but I'm definitely buying that. I don't know. I'm debating on which. Like, I want the 2-pack, but it's crazy NRD. But I love what they're doing, but like, it's sometimes, like I said, it could be detrimental to putting the figure out.
The final production. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Going back to the in art, like, I can see where Inart's coming from. We're adding, again, if they want to make it about accuracy, right, and they're being consistent with that. So I see not adding a USB port anywhere in the body, but as a compromise, like you're saying, maybe they could have engineered something else. I agree with the others. I think at this point it's too late if they're aiming to have this released end of this year, 2026. But I don't know, maybe lesson learned. Maybe it's something for them to kind of consider for other potential endoskeletons in the future. I don't know if they do a T2 one or whatever, but or from another movie, Salvation or something. I don't know, but or just implement that in other figures in general, right? That technology, if they do come up with that. But Windman, what are your thoughts on that whole aspect of InArt, the minimal, very lack of accessories, and doing battery powered versus USB, as far as like regarding accuracy for the endo?
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Every company out there making figures Nobody wants batteries. Nobody. Literally, I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, I prefer those little tiny batteries that are annoying as hell to put in and last 3 minutes at best." Because, as Blue said, you want your shit to be lit all the time. You make nice displays. You want to turn it on when you turn the lights on. You want the eyes to be glowing. You want that lightsaber to be lit up all the time. I'm not, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they're hard to get in. They don't last. And, like you said, you don't want to be setting a timer like, oh, this thing's going to go off. They got the little magic wand. Like, who cares? Like, even if you use that wand and they could stay on forever, who cares about that? Like, are you going to go up to the thing, open the door of your cabinet or whatever, and to get close enough to turn the...
Yeah.
Like, the way you've engineered this incredible endoskeleton, you cannot tell me, and all the fingers moving, that you can't come up with a way to make it USB. You can. And it's a freaking robot. Like, what? A robot has a wire? Oh, that's going to really take me out. It's a robot. Like, you could figure that out. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a handful of people, if they did, as a wire that you could possibly see. But I think the vast majority of people would deal with wiring it or whatever, like you have to do with your lightsaber so you don't see it when you got it in your display.
Yeah.
That would mitigate any issues that the batteries cause with having to change them all the time. And, now, as far as the accessories go, it goes back to the screen accuracy. He didn't have anything. He had a pipe at the end of the movie. So you could throw a pipe in there, and you can maybe do like a pipe bomb that they built to blow them up. Maybe give them a broken foot that you could swap in and out. But there's really not a lot, unless you want to go to the thought that we spoke about earlier. Well, like Blade, we'll give him something that wasn't in that movie. Oh, okay, well then we can give him a gun, even though he didn't have one in the movie.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I feel like, okay, throw some stuff in there. If you don't want to use it, you don't use it. But I agree with Blue. It's a little expensive for just nothing. And I love, this is my favorite Terminator movie. I'm probably not going to get this. I'd rather go with a T2 because it looked cool with guns instead of just, a skeleton standing there. I mean, yeah, you could pose them different ways, but, he's pretty much, when he's in this state in the movie, he's walking or running or crawling.
Yeah.
So...
Or limping. Yeah.
Yeah, or limp, exactly. So there's not a hell of a lot you can do with that. But then, I think Costa was like saying, well, you got the Terminator 2 pack coming. It's good to have both, him with the clothes on. So I'm like, damn, do I have to get this thing? But right now I'm leaning towards no.
Do I have to?
Right. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I don't want them, but it's like, like, if this thing had USB, I'm buying it.
Oh, that's your selling point.
Even if I would pay $50 more for USB.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because that's the whole, I mean,
yeah.
One of the signature things is this guy's got red eyes that light up, and I want them to light up all the time. I don't want them to be like, yo, Terminator's going on break. Got to turn his lights off.
Terminated.
Like, nobody wants that, Now, as far as Jazz Inc., I didn't order this. I couldn't afford to order it at the time because I wasn't, I wasn't retired. I wasn't working. I was in that limbo state. Not a huge fan of this movie. But I like this character. I love the look of it. I mean,
oh yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've watched this sequel since I saw it theatrically. Now I own it on 4K and I still haven't watched it. Because my idea was like, okay, I want to set aside a day where I'm just going to watch them all. Yeah. Even the crappy ones, just make a day or 2 days out of it. But so now I do want it, but I feel like, bro, just give me a figure. Like, this is, on one hand, it's like, I love what he's doing. He's the kind of guy who would make this if he was only making it for himself, and he wants it to be as good as possible. So sometimes part of this delay is because in the process of making his first figure, it's like, oh crap, we came up with a better way to do this thing. So now we're kind of starting over with the suit or with the stitches or whatever. And then there's the whole aspect of, let's ask everybody about every darn thing. And it's just, I feel like, okay, dude, it's too much. At some point, should have get off the pot. You got to turn off all the questions. Like, this is how it's going to be, but you've taken pre-orders from a ton of people. So it's like, maybe you get a bunch of cancellations. Now I'm just waiting for San Diego Comic-Con, because we will see the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then people were going to be super happy if they're not. But the way this thing is being run, like, I don't have any in-art figures. I mean, I don't have any Jazz Inc. products at all. But I respect everything he's done. Everything looks really cool. But good Lord, when I read all of these comments, the ridiculous minutia that people want included, it's like, bro, you opened up that Pandora's box. And there's no getting it back in the box.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
in the box, bro.
It blows my mind. And it's like, oh, good Lord, like, really? Like, and I'm just not the guy who's like pulling up screenshots of the movies and, oh, bro, that those 2 scars across your chest, 28 stitches, and your thing's only got 25. Like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, is somebody going to look at this thing and be like, oh, yeah, that's Godzilla? No, it's Catwoman. Like, at some point, and I think this is going to look amazing, and it would just be like a relief when it comes out at San Diego. Everybody's going to take a million pictures. They'll be able to look at it, in person. And it's like, okay, now on to the next. Now he can start getting some, and I'm sure he's going to start. People are going to see this. They're going to love it. And then, wow, the Penguin sales are going to go up, and he can move on. And the last thing is, I get it. This has to be damn near perfect. Because if this thing comes out looking like crap, he's going to have a problem with the rest of the figures, because people won't trust it. Even if the third figure down the line looks amazing, people won't. Who would trust it? Because they're building their legacy starting with this figure. Because everyone knows they can do vehicles. Figures are a different thing. So, but he seems to be doing the right things. But I think at this point, what has it been? At least 3 years this thing's been in development?
3 years? I thought it was 1.
Oh, no. We're way past 1, baby.
Really?
Oh,
Has
yeah.
it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, wow. I guess I'm losing track of time then. Yeah.
It's got to be over a year since the pre-orders even came up. Like,
I'm pretty sure it was last year. Let me see here.
Really? But before that, he's got the spreadsheet, so I'm going to be proven wrong.
Yep.
I could be wrong too. Let's see.
I thought
the 2-pack
thing was in development for a few years.
It was. You know what? I didn't put when I ordered it, but that's what email is for.
I think I saw 20 when I was looking on the Facebook post for like these photos. I think I did see 2024. So yeah, I think it was probably at least 2 years there. So maybe
it was.
I thought it was 1, but yeah.
But the pre-orders went up. I know the pre-orders went up later than that, though.
Yeah, they ended up going up. Yeah, so I think that's where I'm getting confused. I think the pre-orders has been like about a year, but like, yeah, I think you're probably right.
Because I've already seen people he's shown twice pictures of some Matrix figures, right?
Yeah,
which is nowhere. People are already like, "Yo, when can I order it?" And it's like, do you not know how this company works? We got 2 more years of haggling for those figures.
Yeah.
You know, Morpheus's bald head is too shiny. You know, like whatever. Man.
I'm not talking about my bald head, right?
Right, exactly. You got to send
Before
in
we get
pictures
to
of
you-
your head. This is what it should look like.
Yeah, reference photos. I'm sure you'll get a lot of those.
Yeah.
Before we
So
jump to you,
go ahead. I'm
Go ahead.
done. I'm done.
oh no, I was saying before I jump to Magnus, let me shout some people out here in the chat. We got S Beam in the house. Hello all. Hashtag
Hey.
Feezy's20 or we riot. Yeah, man, I'm behind on that. I need to bring that back. I've been meaning to. I just getting caught up. You know me, but I appreciate you coming through, S Beam, and being in the
What's
chat there.
alone time?
Let's see here. We got Darth Brophy in the house. Brophy, what's up? Maybe for the endo, they could have power through the butt plug holder. There's already a hole there.
Yeah,
Make multiple
exactly.
uses of it. Yeah, that's what Blue was saying. Yeah, and I agree. That would have been a good idea.
Oh.
But I don't think, I think they might be too far along for that. But no, yeah, maybe again, something to consider for their next potential robotic endo figure or whatever that would be, mech suit or whatever design they came up with.
I should
Yeah,
say,
endoscopy.
Winston,
Go
you are
say it.
correct. It was October 30th of 2024
Okay.
when
Okay,
when
so-
Catwoman went up on
The pre-order.
on Kit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I ordered her that day.
Okay.
No, I ordered her later.
But as far as development or production, when that started, that was I'm guessing earlier that year, or no?
Yeah, it was earlier than that, but
2024?
it was earlier than that. Yeah, but I think I ordered her a little bit later than the opening day.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's when I ordered her was October 30th of 2024. So it's been since then. So it's been a while.
Disappointing that you didn't wait till the 31st of October, but whatever.
You disappointed him. Yeah.
The
We
whole
got Clint
Halloween
Martin.
theme.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
you know,
Clint
I-
Martin saying,
Story of my life.
I've never seen a figure that comes with less than this endo. Yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I don't think I have either. It's like very basic. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, I don't. Off the top of my head, I think. Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Usually
let's see
there's
here.
like hands and stuff like that, but I mean,
Yeah.
the hands move, so like they don't
Right.
need extra hands.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. Good
Well, there's
point.
either like weapons.
I mean, they could
or
have gave him a hat and a jacket,
a hat.
stealth mode or something.
Yeah.
But he has the fun party trick of having the post up his butt. He can sit down in midair. Hey, you know,
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, it
That's
would
a
be
neat-
worth it
that's
to
a neat
order
party
just to
trick.
do that.
Yeah.
that's a neat party
Just
trick.
balancing on there.
Yeah, just bouncing on that stick. We got Olivia Miller in the house. Thank you for coming through, Olivia Miller. Appreciate it. No new TX Terminator figure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they might do another one. Maybe they might do one from T2. I don't know. I mean, I'll touch on this later, but yeah, I'll go further into discussion in a separate video for this T800 by InArt. But yeah, I would think they wouldn't make these molds for this and not use it again, right? Like any other company, like Hot Toys or any other toy manufacturer, right? So you would have to think they would do others. I mean, look at the InArt Pennywise, right? I mean, there's that Gandalf, right? Couple of versions there. So maybe we might see another one in the future from InArt, another endoskeleton. But yeah, also adding McFarlane Toys needs to give us new Vixen figure since it's been so long since we had an. Oh, okay, nice. You also McFarlane collector, so fellow smaller scale collector like myself and Windman. I think Windman also collects smaller scale.
I got a couple.
All right, Magnus. Last but not least, thank you for being patient. But what's your take on InArt T800 here, the endoskeleton? T800, right? Yeah, endoskeleton with the minimal, almost nil accessories, and going battery operated versus USB as far as like accuracy to the source material.
Well, this looks really good, promising. I mean, InArt makes great figures, but yeah, that idea of like batteries doesn't work. But I had this weird idea. Maybe they should put like a USB-C thing in the stand, and then the USB-C comes out on the top, and it goes right in the heel, so that way you hide it, and then you can light it up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah,
through his leg.
through his to the bottom of his foot, because like you plug in a USB-C into the base, and then you'll have like on the top or top of it, you'll have one sticking out, and that's where you put the foot.
Oh,
on top of it.
like a peg, like you'll have like a hole in his foot. I see. Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah, so it would be all through like probably either like contacts throughout the body you would need to put, kind of like the Mark 42 Iron Man. I'm guessing that's how they did that. I think that's how they did that. I don't have that figure. You know, they have the one USB to power the whole suit. I think that's how they did it, but I see what you're saying. Something similar to that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. The batteries, they don't work. We don't want them. This is like too good of a figure to not to have to put those little tiny batteries into. I mean, this thing is the stuff of nightmares.
The batteries, yeah. Oh man,
or no,
so
no, just
at least in the Hot Toys, anyways.
Yeah, also yeah, because like I remember when I was like about a little kid when I saw the original movie back then, like in the early '80s, and someone gave me the VHS and watched it, loved it, but scared the hell out of me back then.
It's kind of a horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. What about your take on like Jazz Inc.'s approach and accuracies with them getting their figures to the source material and getting feedback from the community?
I feel like they do a good job with it. I mean, like I feel like with Hot Toys, it's like this is what we made and this is what you get. I know like there are a few times where people just said, nope, we can't do it. We don't want it. And to our surprise, they said, okay. I mean, hopefully that continues. And I mean, like I like in-art stuff as well. Unfortunately, they don't have like a Star Wars license or a Marvel license, but they have some other stuff which I'm afraid to get into, like the Lord of the Rings. That looks fantastic. I love the movies, but I don't know if I can afford that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a growing collection too.
Yeah, but seriously though, I mean, hopefully they'll keep up with their innovations and continue to make great figures that we want.
Yeah, like kind of I didn't realize that. It was coincidentally the comparison here between these two companies, and listening to you guys kind of give your thoughts on this. These are two extremes, right? I went over this example when I in the previous Hot Talk video, episode 40, when I was talking about the Red Hulk and how that had joints, and a lot of collectors just were not having it. But Hot Toys made a decision, they went with it, and again for that one, I presume was because they wanted more articulation as compared to the previous Hulk. So I was mentioning that Hot Toys, they just made a decision and go with it, whereas on the other end you have Jazz Inc., who just takes feedback for a lot of aspects of a figure, right? So here, kind of similar situation. In-art made some choices and went with them, kind of minimal accessories, and then the features, the powering the eyes, not how collectors wanted. Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, you have Jazz Inc. here, and just again, taking feedback, listening to the community, asking, doing polls on multiple aspects of the figure. And this here is a creation. This figure, the Catwoman from Batman Returns, is a creation of the community in collaboration with Yost. If you want to see it that way, it's like to what Windman was saying earlier. A lot of people, I guess, to some of them, kind of begrudgingly, all the choices that were offered, kind of overwhelmingly, but still, I mean, like, we're all offered. So he's making a figure based on these preferences, whereas in-art on the other end, they didn't get any feedback from, and they just made decisions and went with it, right? So it's kind of like either way, people are upset. It seems like they're critiquing either end. You have too many options and they still didn't like it, or you have no options and you still don't like it. So it's kind of, I mean, I'm kind of I'm exaggerating there. There's some collectors in the middle who do like either one of these as they are. And we don't want to leave out those collectors, right? So there's definitely collectors that covered all the spectrum here, but this is just an example to show you the two extremes here. And I just wanted to point that out. But and everything all back again, we discussed different situations, different scenarios and figures. And so the last question I want to ask the panel and have you all kind of guys go through is, accuracies and preferences. Where do we draw the line, right? Because we kind of looked at some examples I heard from each of you. You each had of your, you preferred accuracy for a particular figure, but you're okay with inaccuracies for another, or certain aspects, or wish you would have had more accessories, certain convenience features. By the way, I was going to call this accuracies versus convenience, because the battery powered versus the USB thing, is more of a convenience. It's just a different way to power the LED eyes. But there was more to it than that, right? There's, again, like I mentioned, the accessories and the look of the figure itself and heights and things like that. So I just labeled it preferences. So I went with that, but it's all encompassing. So yeah, again, tying it all back all together, where do you guys draw the line on accuracies versus preferences? And has your answer changed at all from in the beginning when I asked you what you lean more towards to? Probably not, but I just want to, just for the sake of this discussion and for the people listening, where are you at? Where's that line drawn between how accurate something has to be versus, okay, well, this is not accurate, but I'll still take it. We'll start from Magnus and we'll go way down.
I think the term probably would be happy medium. I mean, all of us have different variations of where we want it, like closer to realism or closer to playability or even look or things like that. So it's something that it's the like in-art or Hot Toys will have to figure out which side they want to go with most. I think that's going to be like a tough thing because everyone's going to have a different opinion on it. But I think if we could just do something fair, like right down the middle, playability, posability, and also lighting it up as well, to the point where most people will be happy. Unfortunately, not all. But, as we can always say, they can always try their best. Yeah.
No, for sure. I'll make sure I wasn't muted there, but it definitely. There's going to be a diverse selection and diverse perspectives, obviously from different collectors. That's why we, I invited you guys here, and I know each of you come from different angles of it. So speaking of Windman, what are your thoughts on that? Where do you draw the line now after we've had this discussion and you see how we kind of lean towards certain things being accurate versus other things being inaccurate and being okay with that? Where's that for you?
I got to go with Valkyrie, like a medium. Like, it have to be something really egregious to make me be like, oh, I can't get this because they really screwed the pooch on this one thing. All the figures that I have here, I can look over and, I'm like, yeah, that's Black Panther, that's Blade, that's Shang-Chi, that, maybe there's something that's not 100% like it was in the film or the comic or whatever, but I can deal with that. It has to be something pretty egregious, like, that's totally the wrong guitar that the Crow has. You guys just had a bunch of Prince's guitar laying around, so you threw that one in. Like, that would annoy the heck out of me.
I see.
But, then I might still buy it and just buy my own guitar. But it'd have to be a really big thing. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not that precious about a lot of the stuff. Like, I'm not looking for an exact replica. Because I have some really great I have more Spider-Man than anything. I love that classic suit Spider-Man. I think that captures what he looked like in the comics. But I have like a very, very bad, what's the wrestling suit Toby, a third party. I think it's Thunder Toys, and I love it, because no one else did that, So body's weak as a kitten, but but I still love it, and the head sculpt looks. I look at it, looks like Toby. So now, having said that, I wouldn't pay, $280 for that figure, or the way Hot Toys is starting. Toby? We're starting to get past $300. That Toby was like $140 or something. So, but I'm not that guy that really gonna get up in arms and grab the pitchfork and the torch and like, we gotta stop Hot Toys. Right, they're killing us.
Petition.
It's not that big of a deal to me because I get joy out of all the figures that I have here. So But I will die on the battery hill. No more batteries.
Okay, yeah.
Like I've got a bunch of light up figures here that I've never lit up because the batteries were just super frustrating. You know, because I think it was Captain Marvel. I put those in but I finally get them in there where one of the batteries is not jumping out and hitting the floor. And then it's like, oh, okay, cool. Let me get the camera on. Might as well take a few pictures. And then the batteries are dead by the time I come back with the camera. It's like, are you kidding me? Exactly. You know, so.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So it's just like, it's just not worth it. You know, like, so it is what it is.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. Speaking of here, Brophy says, I have the new Mark 42 that I was mentioning earlier, and having single USB-C cable to power the entire figure is glorious. Yeah, man. I bet it is.
So it can be
that
done.
Was so tempting too. Yeah, it can be done.
What's missing with a lot of these companies is desire.
Yeah, but what I would hate
initial,
is
like
they...
motivation. Sorry, go ahead. Magnus.
I was gonna say really quick. I would really hate it because I have like a big Iron Man collection. I would really hate it though if they decided to redo it all over again with the USB.
Oh, they are.
Like,
right.
They've already started.
Don't do it now.
Yeah. They've already started down that path.
Yeah.
Philly in the house. What up, Philly? Philly Z.
Hey, Philly.
Thank you for coming through. Philly saying, I'm just happy we live in a time where we get a Catwoman and diecast endoskeleton. Hell yeah. Hell yes. Blue, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. So coming towards the end of the discussion here, how about you? Where's the line drawn for you as far as accuracy versus letting certain things go and has kind of your mindset changed a little? You're probably not within like a couple hours we discussing, but just anything to consider, or now that we've discussed certain aspects, certain points of these figures, where's that line for you?
Like mainly like third-party figures. Like, I could pay $160 for a Jim Carrey mask, right? It's not the best,
I see,
but it's pretty freaking close. And I can put that on my shelf, and I can see Jim Carrey, I can see the mask, and it works. Once it's like licensed, like Hot Toys, I say for the price, it should be like as accurate as fuck, to be honest. It should be top notch. It shouldn't be, the body proportions shouldn't be in question. The suit should be tailored. It shouldn't be crazy out of whack. Like, as far as accuracy goes, like the Tron we talked earlier, like his punch would not be in there. That's not. I mean, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You let one thing go, what else is going to go? What else is going to get overlooked or changed, or and like that kind of stuff we're fine with. Like, I'd rather have a more.
You good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. There was like a loud sound just came through real quick from your end.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard it too. I wasn't. I don't know if that was me or not, but
oh, okay.
No, I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about Thrawn and the inaccuracies on the body, and how that might letting that go, and once you're okay with that, and to what extent will that go to for Hot Toys?
Yeah, because like the same I mentioned eyebrows earlier. Like For some reason, the Hot Toys artists like they suck at eyebrows. I don't get it. Like, we're seeing the same face. We've seen the same movie. I know the different perspectives and stuff like that. But like, Doc Ock's eyebrows. And the Hot Toys taking liberties like Tony Stark head sculpts. Like sometimes they make him look really friggin' old. Like I think it was the Mark VI. Like they made him look super wrinkly. Like it was a weird freaking sculpt, dude.
I do remember that one. Yeah.
And Tony Stark from the Avengers, like they made him like the sculpt looked good. His mouth was kind of open, like maybe he was talking or looked kind of surprised or whatever. But they made him really pale. They made him too tan in the other one, so they're like, oh, that's too much, and so we got to make him more pale in this one. For the price these things are, like there should be like no question. Like, like I said, it's a double-edged sword for like shit like Thrawn. What else? It's just like I can complain about one thing, but like I let Thrawn go.
Yeah. What? Sorry if I missed it. Why did you say you're okay with Thrawn being okay like this, like not being accurate to the body?
Because it's more. I mean, it's more accurate to like the books or the animation.
Oh,
like
I see.
He's a very svelte kind of guy.
Gotcha.
And yes, in all technicality, it should be. He should have the punch. He should be a little bit more wider in the belt area. For the accuracy that Lars Mikkelsen was in Ahsoka. I 100% agree with that. Would I still buy it? Yes, because it's still Thrawn. Whether he looks like that in the show or whether they took out the extra padding in his gut area.
Yeah, it's just still Thrawn. You just wanted that representation.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Before I jump to Xman, let me bring in another panelist. Better late than never, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Gio, the Movie Canon. What is up, Gio?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Gio.
Good. You're able to join us after all.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys would still be streaming because I know it started at 7:45, right? So
Yeah.
I went to a movie earlier and I wasn't sure if you guys are still going to be on here, but I saw you guys were still on there, so I was like, all right, let me hop on.
Yeah.
So,
no, man.
yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for the invite. Easy.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll get your thoughts here as we round out. We're kind of coming up towards the end too, so we could probably summarize your thoughts. But Xman, where are you at now on drawing the line between accuracy after listening to the other panelists so far and kind of giving their take? Where are you at with accuracy and again, like for example, this Thrawn here versus like the T800 versus some of the other Hot Toys figures that had some inaccuracies there. Where do you draw the line for your figures?
Well, like I said earlier, if it's my favorite character, then accuracy is the most important thing. That won't stop me from getting them. Like the Weapon X figure they just recently announced. I ordered it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a comic version, and they're using the Hugh Jackman like upper torso, so they went with that size body. So he's way too friggin' big. He's way overscaled. And that's a huge problem. Am I gonna get it still? Yes. Because we don't have Weapon X. Will we ever get another one? I don't know. We might not because they made this one.
Yeah.
And they only made this one because they had to reuse that torso. So they decided to do that here, which really gets on my damn nerves. And if I thought that it's one of those situations where it's like, if I thought that it would make a difference for me to not buy it, outside of me just not having it,
Right.
then I wouldn't buy it. But the sad fact is, apparently I'm the only person who gives a shit about how Wolverine is portrayed. Nobody else cares about my guy like that. So everyone else is going to buy this thing. I'm going to be left out, and he's still going to be inaccurate no matter what.
Yeah.
So at least I get him. You know what my favorite character, my favorite figure is in my whole collection? I got 85 figures now, 6 scale. This is my favorite figure in my whole collection, right here.
What is that?
Yeah, Mondo?
Hot Toys or Mondo?
It's the Mondo Wolverine.
Oh, damn! I was gonna
the one they just remade. You know why? Do you know why this is my favorite? Because relative to his line, he is properly scaled. He's friggin' short. He's supposed to be. He is exactly what he needs to be. This is the only Wolverine figure that I have seen that is accurately scaled. The only one.
They
So
did
the,
it just for
the
you.
Hano one is much bigger than that.
The Hano one, I haven't compared them. I think it is a little bit taller, but I'm just saying relative to the rest of his own line. Like the Hano Wolverines, for me, they don't really fit so well with everything else.
I see what you're saying.
They exist in a space they're just between animated or comic look and realism. Like I can't comfortably put the Hano Wolverines with my Hot Toys because I don't think they fit. I can't put them with my So-So X-Men because maybe the brown suit, because it has a little more texture to it. It has a little more, something there to make it kind of blend in a little bit more with their costumes. But the yellow suit, I can't do that with. It just doesn't make sense. But they are smaller in scale than the rest of them, which is good. But this is the only one that I've seen, and I'm talking like all scales, even the smaller stuff. You got overscaled Wolverines in Marvel Legends too. And it's funny how I'll get like something like this. It costs, 200 and what was it? 230, something like that. 225. I forget how much these guys cost. But I'll get this, and maybe like I might have to call in like and get an extra hand because the claws are a little wonky because of the way that they're glued in, right?
Oh yeah.
The way the little ports are. But I will not buy a Marvel Legends Wolverine because I know it's going to be fucked up. I know it's going to be wrong, and I'm going to be mad about it. And I don't buy any Marvel Legends because of that. They can't get my guy right. I don't want any of them. So, it's weird how that works. Like, I don't care so much about how Chewbacca's face isn't as flat as it should be, right? Like, that's a pretty long snout for Chewbacca. His should be a little bit more even with the rest of his face. And he should have, his little goatee bit there should be coming down more from his, it should be closer to his lip than his neck, right? Like, that should be more evened out.
Oh, yeah.
He does look good. This is the best looking Hot Toy Chewbacca that they've made. So I think he looks great. He could be better. But I think he's good enough for me to have him. He's not my favorite character, but he is one that I've liked for a long time. So... And then there's guys like Nice Pool. This is not going to be anybody's favorite character. Not anybody. I have him because I want all the Deadpools. I'm okay with him having a little bit of a Mega Mind head. I'm okay with his facial expression or with his face not being as good as the prototype because he is essentially a joke character. It ain't that serious with Nice Pool. So I'm okay with that. I just want all the Deadpools. And for me, it's more about the purpose that he serves. And the fact that he looks a little dumb, that just adds to it because he's a dumb character. He's supposed to be dumb. His whole purpose is to be dumb. So he fills all the needs that he needs to fill for me. So I'm okay with how they did him. So, it's like I said, it depends. It depends on so many factors. But you gotta get this guy right, or I'm not happy.
Go-to right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a whole shelf of Wolverines, and like none of them are completely right, and it irks me. But I want Wolverine, so I have, because that's my guy. I'm not gonna have, every other character and not have Wolverine. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Who does that?
Psycho.
So that one made it. That one is complete for you. That one makes you happy. That takes you to your happy place. That Wolverine there.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the one. If I decide to downsize, I'll get rid of everything before I get rid of the Mondo stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
They did my boy right.
In the background there, your display.
Oh yeah.
Before we go on to the last panelist here, let me welcome. I know we're kind of towards the end, but I missed his initial text. We've got Douguito in the house. What up, Douguito? I think I'll let you plug that, but I think he's going to make an appearance, right, Gio?
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But yeah, thanks for being here, Douguito. Looking forward to potentially streaming with you tomorrow there. Trimble just saying, oh no, Wolvie's a bit tall. He's almost same height as Magneto. Oh, okay.
Damn. I didn't realize that.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I love it. But I'm not I don't have anything else. That's probably the only Wolverine I'll have.
The Hono one?
Yeah. First one.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. I got him.
They're great figures. They're just a little bit big.
I didn't get the uncaled one. That's the only one I don't have. The unmasked one.
I got all three.
All right.
That pisses me off. Don't mention the unmasked one.
Okay, sorry.
I wanted
Wipe that from the record.
That should have been an extra head sculpt. Those scumbags.
But see, the problem with that is that he would have the suit neck. He would have the suit neck, and for those of us who would buy two of them, I like him without the suit neck, so I'm good. But I see where you're coming from. If you don't care about that, that looks stupid as hell to me to have a suit going up underneath your head.
There you go. See, going back again to this whole accuracy versus preferences thing.
That's me.
All right. Last but not least, Gio. I don't know how much you've heard before you jumped on, but what is your take on figures being accurate versus having your own preferences on, maybe they're not accurate. You'd rather prefer them have like a certain aspect, like a certain feature or additional accessories they didn't have, or a different body portion like Thrawn here, who's slimmer compared to his actual counterpart. Like, how do you approach your collecting, and what are you okay with as far as when you purchase figures, when you pull the trigger on certain figures?
I think it's going to be more about the character. Is the character one of my favorite characters in general, or is it just like for example, I have the like Spider-Man. When I first started collecting, there's a couple of Spider-Mans that were available to pre-order Hot Toys, and I did see that Tobey Maguire No Way Home Spider-Man, but I didn't think he looked like Toby that much, like the head sculpt. Okay. So he didn't quite look like him. And I believe the suit, I don't think it was that accurate either, although I didn't really notice things like that usually, unless it's just like really bad when it comes to Spider-Man costumes or outfits. I know a lot of them are not accurate, but I don't really notice it that much. So I didn't pre-order that one because it just didn't look like Toby. The head sculpt just didn't look like him, and that's kind of like a big thing. It has to look like the actor, and with a few exceptions, because even like the Hot Toys Neo, it doesn't. The first one, the older one from like 4 or 5 years ago, that one looks just enough for Keanu Reeves. It doesn't look that great as Keanu, but it looked just enough. And then you put the sunglasses on, and then you're pretty good. Then I'll get my Neo representation of the first Matrix movie. So I was fine with that, even though the head sculpt could definitely look better. But I was fine with it because I wanted that representation. So it just kind of depends. the character, the figure, are they making more than one iteration of that particular character? That maybe it'll
Yeah.
have other accessories that we don't, we may not see, but let's say they'll include it in this one, things like that. Another example could be the turtles, the Mondo Ninja Turtles, the 1/6 that are being released now. I mean, it has some iterations that are not exactly from the movie. They're not exactly from the animated show. It's kind of like its own thing, but kind of like a little bit part of it still. So it still looked good enough for me that I was like, yeah, that's kind of the turtles that I remember. It's not exact, but it's definitely they look really good for my representation, or for the representation that I wanted to see in my collection. So I pre-ordered Donatello, Leo, and then when I do the other ones, I'm sure they'll be just as good. So I'll be pre-ordering some of those. So I guess the main thing is more like the head sculpt, depending on the character. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. But yeah.
So it sounds like you kind of have certain. You probably approach it a little more closer to Blue. Blue mentioned also like the head sculpt has to be pretty, like damn on point, if not nearly accurate there. So it sounds like you're also in that same boat.
Yeah, mainly
like
with a few exceptions, right? Like, okay,
like
well,
maybe
I'm not gonna see something like this again. So fine, I'll get it. Kind of like that. But.
Yeah, that's interesting. You kind of, so it sounds like you're kind of like on the opposite end with that as Xman, because Xman was saying, for him, if he has a character, like his character has to be accurate. Like he was just saying about the like Wolverine, right? It has to be on point. Height and everything, but it sounds like what you're saying is like if you have a certain character, for you we all know, it's, for those of us that know you, it's Neo, the Matrix, but you're saying like, because that's your person, that's your character, you would get any iteration. It doesn't have to be as on point, but it's a representation that you're willing to have because you love that character, right?
Yeah, because especially that one, because that one's been out for years. And at that point, when I did buy that figure was already like 4 years old, 5 years old, and it's like I don't know if they're gonna do another Neo, or especially from the first movie. Now we know that it looks like we are gonna get another one, but so that's what, like, that's right. I didn't know at the time, and everything else was fine. Everything else was fine. That the outfit, the representation of the base, the lobby base, and all that stuff. That was cool, and I liked all that. How the duffel bag and the weapons. So I was like, yeah, this is totally. I'm totally gonna get that. And I was fine with it.
Gotcha. Yeah. No. Yeah, I hear you on that aspect. Yeah, and so as far as for me, kind of to start wrapping things up, I kind of lean more towards what Gio was mentioning, and also a lot more with what Winman and Magnus were talking about. Whereas, there's just certain things that, for the most part, you guys know me. For those of you that know me, I'm pretty forgiving on certain things, but that's because I also just want representations of certain figures in my collection. I just want to enjoy them and have fun with them, right? I don't, as long as they're okay and they meet what they look like in my mind's eye, I'm good with them. Like, I'm not one to pick out details on certain things. And like Winman said earlier at the beginning, which I agree with, like for me also, as long as their proportions are not exaggeratingly off, or like they're the wrong color, like Spider-Man's not like, I don't know, yellow and gold instead of blue and red type of thing, like something like that. Like their suit's way off, then obviously, that's going to be an issue. If the head sculpt's pretty good and pretty close, or like I can tell who that is, for the most part, I'm okay with it. Just because it just becomes like, it can become exhausting, right? Trying to pick it for me. I can just already, knowing myself, it'll be exhausting trying to pick everything out and being particular about certain things. And it all comes down to picking and choosing your battles, right? It's just, I just want to get the figure and I want to enjoy it. And like we've seen throughout this discussion, right, there's certain things that some collectors are okay with and others that are not. And I know that's going to be the case for me. So why even try to like go to a certain level to have like a certain particularity or have something specific a certain way? Because for the Thrawn, I agree. I if I were to get that Thrawn, I would have preferred that bodysuit here, like this body type, because I wanted more of the Rebels, even though that's not accurate to Ahsoka. Right. The Ahsoka show, for the T-800 endoskeleton, I would have preferred a USB as well. even though that having some sort of wire come out of them is not accurate, but I want that convenience, right? I want more accessories if the value's there, right? But if it's, again, like I mentioned before, if it's going to cost more, then maybe not. But it depends. I'd have to see. So yeah, because there's that variance, and I know it's kind of depend on the figure. I just won't even get too caught up in the details like that and having it too accurate, just because of that. Because I know myself, and I'm just like, you know what? I just want the figure. I want to enjoy it for the most part. If I feel like it's good for me, then I'm good with it. I want to enjoy with it and have fun and just enjoy the hobby. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's how I approach my collecting. And so that's why I buy third parties, multiple scales, like unlicensed or licensed products. There's like everything, right? You guys see this collection. That's just part of it. It's just like, I just want to enjoy these things. And when I get a chance to actually have more fun and play with them and pose them up. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from. So a little bit of what you all just said. But yeah, hopefully those of you listening on the replay, watching this live, that kind of gives you a little more insight, a little more background to, like, I don't know where we're coming from, where certain collectors are coming from. I know this is not all encompassing of all collectors. There's probably some who see certain things different from what we said here. I'm actually curious, for those of you out there who are like strict on your accuracy, like, no, I won't buy a figure unless it's like really accurate to the source material. I don't give any leeway. I'm not flexible. I want it to be perfect. If you're out there, let me know. Let us know in the comments. I'm just curious. I want to see if there's anyone actually like that, or if you are able to forgive certain things depending on the character. Like Xman was saying, if it's a certain character that you love, you don't forgive anything. You want it perfect. Or you're more like Geo, where like, okay, I love this character, so I'm willing to forgive certain things just to have it in my collection. I want all Neos. I want all Vaders. I want all Spider-Mans, whatever that is, right? Just let us know. Let others in the comments know what type of collector you are and how you approach that, just to kind of make awareness for other collectors, right? Just because others just don't see that part of it. They just see people either quote unquote complaining or bitching and this and that, but maybe they don't understand the full aspect of it. So yeah, it'd just be good if not, you can continue doing what you're doing, but yeah, it'd just be good to share that information. But anything else anyone wants to add before we close out here and do our outro?
There's one really quick thing I want to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? It's like, what was that movie series? I forgot. The Fast and Furious. I live my life one figure at a time.
Yeah. One figure at a time.
Do we though?
We're all family, Magnus. Yeah.
Do we though?
Were you in that movie?
Like 20 figures at a time.
That, Charger.
Yeah.
Before he had
I thought that was you. Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. Yeah, one figure at a time. Yeah, I think I'm with you there, Magnus. Clint Martin here adding, I think accuracy depends on how well you know a character. The more you know, the more you tend to expect and look at it with the more critical. Yeah, no, that's definitely true too. Yeah, that's a good point that none of us really brought up. Yeah, that is true. There's I think that goes back to battle. I think that goes back to what Xman was saying about, if you have a certain character that you love and you know the ins and outs, you want that best representation, right? We hear that a lot from collectors. They want the best representation, and whatever best is to you, that's to you. And kind of also on that same level here, Clint also adding, some people complained about Catwoman having like 7 stitches. I think Windman brought this up earlier too, on the mask, and not 9 like in the movie. Again, if that's their character and they're particular, I can understand some. I can understand X-Men's point of view, his perspective about wanting it to be exact, wanting it to be right. For if that's your character, but for others, who just kind of just want a Catwoman, like myself and maybe Windman and others here on the panel, we're forgiving, right? It's one of the things that we're forgiving about. We kind of overlook that, or not even overlook that. We give it a pass just because, it's not that important to us. Or maybe that character's not as important as someone else's, as it is to someone else. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe someone has Catwoman tattooed on their body or something. I don't know, the fight for Catwoman. I don't know, who knows? I wouldn't doubt it, but still, you know what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
No.
Right now.
Yeah. I said Catwoman, not Roy Orbison there, Gio. Yeah. Mama said, yeah. Mama said. Oh man. But yeah, anyone else got anything to add?
I want all figures to be accurate as possible. And not just like my favorite characters. Like, I want your guys' figures to be as accurate as possible. Yeah. I want I want third parties to step up, like Mars Toys, I mean,
Yeah.
they're kind of lacking in the rolling eyes department, but they usually pump out pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's just actually even like the supporting characters, the tertiary characters that like
There's fancy.
um, I want them to be accurate too. I can't like um have like the main character like perfect and tailored and great head sculpt, and then like the other character in that movie just like a mediocre third party kind of, because I wanted the representation. Like,
Yeah.
I want like if you're gonna take that time to make that
Make a figure.
freaking make a figure, just make that
Yeah.
figure. Put the same love into that you did like the main. Keep going. Give each one the love and attention that it needs. And yeah, all figures should be accurate.
No, yeah, for
as
sure.
accurate as possible. Anyway.
So
Yeah, in
all
ideal
figures
world, man, like-
matter.
Yeah, ideal world. Yeah, I would want all of these to be like damn near perfect, if not perfect, and have like great accessories, same quality. But I mean, I'm more understanding. Like I understand not all companies obviously the same. We can point out Asmus, Star Ace for
No.
some of the things they do. So it's like they're licensed. So I know different talents, different skill set, different companies run different ways. So I understand but yeah, I agree. Like I would like all figures to be awesome. I want a Darkness figure, damn it. So no one's making a Darkness from Legend.
Me too,
Darkness,
buddy.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, see?
Hell
But yeah.
I can't fuck that up, though.
That's my dream figure. One of my dream figures. Windman Nose is with me on three Storms also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's another
right.
set trio figures. But yeah, anyone else got any closing thoughts? No, if not, go ahead,
Well,
Gio.
there's I have another example actually about where I
Go.
bought a figure knowing that the head sculpt absolutely sucked, but I figured we probably wouldn't get this figure in a while or at all, and that was the Mars Toys Jim Carrey Riddler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I wanted the representation, and that head sculpt doesn't.
Oh, you don't
look
like
good.
that one, huh?
I don't like. I don't like it. But it's like there's one head sculpt that looks better than the other.
Yeah.
So I stick to that one, but overall I think it's quite off. But everything else is like, yeah, if it's to be Jim Carrey Riddler from Batman Forever, and my connection with that movie, so I was like, okay, I'll get it, and then everything else kind of just went along with everything else. But that's an example that I didn't love the figure, but I don't know if we're gonna get another one, and we still haven't had anyone else make that Jim Carrey Riddler figure yet.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was-
like you said,
that
there's
was-
a lot of factors
that
that
was
goes
Mars?
into it. Yeah, like go ahead. Sorry, Blue, what were you saying?
That was Mars Toys, right?
yeah,
But that's-
it was Mars Toys. It's Mars Toys, yeah.
Okay.
And they've done some good head sculpts, like the Alfred from '89 Batman. So that one's
Oh, yeah?
pretty good. And the one that Dave mentioned earlier, the '66 Joker,
Joker.
Cesar Romero. So that one looks great too, and it's Mars Toys. But I don't know why the Jim Carrey one from Riddler was pretty bad. So I don't know.
Yeah. I thought it was. I thought it was serviceable. I didn't think it was like completely, trash, horrendous kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was serviceable.
Their Frank Gorshin Riddler looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, that one's. That one's really good.
I haven't bought it, but I'm still thinking about it.
Who did that recent Billy
Good.
D figure?
That's Mars,
Mars.
wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Mars.
Because that gets frustrating to me though. Is like that figure was what, $150, something like that.
Around there,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that for everything that I can see, that's a really good looking figure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they did a
Tailoring
really
and
good job.
everything. So then when you see someone like Hot Toys like just drop the ball, you're like, come on, man! Like Mars Toys is kicking your rump.
He's doing it,
Like
Yeah.
So that is unlicensed though.
Yeah, but again, I get it's unlicensed, so they don't have to pay, fees to actors, studios, or whatever. But if you're paying all that money, you should be striving to make the best thing more
Oh, you're
than
talking about quality.
right
Yeah.
for quality.
Yeah.
Because
I
like
see.
Mars,
I see.
they could have cheaped out because they're like, hey,
Yeah.
But
People would have still bought it.
they kind of went in on that thing, man. Like,
Yeah, no,
and
they
don't
went
have a
unnecessarily
budget.
hard.
They don't have a budget.
A lot of them are good. Their figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mars.
Oh yeah.
Don't be a
I'm kicking
factory
myself
entertainment.
for not getting that. Like I said, I'm not the
Oh.
biggest.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Batman person. I don't have any Batman figures at all.
That's another
Oh.
example.
But I
Factory
should
Entertainment
have got that.
Yeah.
with the
No,
Yeah,
stay the course.
Overseas,
Stay the
The,
course. There's
the
too many.
Too late. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
O'Connell
there's too
and
many,
the
yeah.
Mummy.
Yeah. Like I said, these
I
are just some
wanted
examples,
that
but
so
yeah.
bad. But it's just
That
not, it's
should've
not
been-
there.
I
It's
would have
not there,
gotten it
yeah.
if the head sculpt was decent.
Right. And again, that would have been one if they were pricing that the way for the quality,
Uh-huh.
I would have bought it.
Like Mars Toys prices.
Yeah. I'm not paying
Yeah.
$350
Yeah.
or whatever they want. For that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
insane.
way, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we
I'm
would,
just
and I know,
not.
and we talked about this. I think on one of your figures talk episode, Gio,
Mhm.
where we brought up the factory entertainment stuff, and I made a point there. Like, yeah, I think for the most, myself included, I had no interest in those figures, but I'm sure there's going back to again somebody that's their representation, that's their character or their film, their IP, and they were probably excited because they didn't get it from anywhere else, and so. Again, I don't want to shit on anybody's like happiness or their joy or anything, but yeah, it just like again that goes back to accuracy versus
You don't want to,
preferences.
but
Like the whole,
Factory Entertainment did.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're making them, so.
And I hope they get
better.
better. And
yeah.
I'm sure, again, that's their first
Right,
jump
yeah.
into this scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Baby steps and baby pricing, maybe. Like,
Yeah.
you can't come out like pricing it like the big boys.
Yeah, but then you look at EFX, who's also a prop house, and they're doing those walled-in figures, whatever the hell the
Yeah,
rest of that
dude.
unnecessarily long name is.
Yeah.
And that was, if the figures come out looking, close to what the prototypes look like, Jesus,
Yeah.
those are
Right.
amazing looking. That was a
Yeah.
hell of a first showing.
Hell yeah. And Factory photoshops their head sculpts, dude. They like face
Oh.
so they face swap it with the real guy, and then like in the other picture it's like a Walmart toy. 12-inch fucking Walmart toy.
Like,
$9.99 joints.
It looks like
Yeah,
a Barbie,
dude.
yeah.
you think about the Ian Malcolm, the
Oh, yeah, that too. What?
That too. But the Rick
Wow.
O'Connell was the main. And yeah, the Jurassic Park guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, photoshopped as hell, dude. And like stealing the same pose as the Iron Studios, and then going on like I think it was Mafia Stream, going, "Oh, we know those guys. We wouldn't do that." And then like, bullshit, you wouldn't do that. It's like a 1-to-1 fucking match, dude. There's,
For the
there's
AI
no
you
way
chose
did
to make the
not
figure.
do that.
Well, I think he said we wouldn't do that, but you couldn't hear him say again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
We
Yeah,
wouldn't
hopefully-
do that, but
Hopefully, yeah, those figures do come out good in the end, I guess, for everyone's sake. Everyone who's looking forward to those, and for that
Could you
company,
imagine
too.
if that
Yeah, dude.
Rick O'Connell came out like, "Oh my God, it looks amazing,"
yeah.
and then the scramble's on, baby. So
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
to get it on
Yeah,
eBay.
blow us all away? Yeah.
And their early bird price, dude, they could shove that up their ass. That's
Yeah.
crap, dude.
Again,
Be
yeah,
the first sucker.
Yeah.
Again, going back to ideal
yeah.
world, right? Ideal world, ideal
Yeah.
collecting world. But yeah, no, thank you all for joining me. Gio, thanks for coming in here for the little time that you were able to. We'll go down, see if anyone has to anything you want to plug or shout out. I mean, if nothing, no worries. But Magnus, anything you want to plug or shout out?
Not right now, but just want to say this was a great opportunity just to hang out with you guys. Always good
Yes,
to
sir.
see you guys and talk with you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for joining us, man. I know it's like probably coming up to your bedtime here, But no, regardless, appreciate you staying up and talking figures with us. Windman, anything you want to plug or shout out?
Yeah, man. I'll be just chilling. I've been
All
up
right.
for a long time. Got up at like 6 a.m. to watch the Knicks parade. So
Oh,
I'm
damn.
running on fumes right now. So it's bedtime for Bonzo.
Well, appreciate you as well, sir. Thank you for joining and
Thanks for
sacrificing
having
some
me.
of that sleep to be here. Yeah, man. Blue, anything you want to plug or shout out?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Phoebe. It's awesome and hanging out with everybody and these topics that don't normally I like get covered in like in depth like this. It's pretty cool. I appreciate being here and um, it, tomorrow going to be on Geo's show, Movie Canon. Subscribe, and then Monday, well, I'll sort of be on there. I'm traveling again, so it'll
Oh,
kind of I'll sort of be there, but yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's awesome.
yeah, man. No, again, thank you for joining. I know you were working and you know, doing what you can while you're at work and sharing the thoughts and opinions on this and giving a different take on this whole perspective. Xman, anything you want to plug or shout out?
Nah, just glad to be here, glad to hang out, glad to go over the problems with the toys that we like to buy, and hopefully this
Personal
council of hot toys fixers will be heard by the powers that be, and they'll pull their heads out and maybe do something right. But you never can tell. Not good to be here with all of y'all. Good to see everybody. Always a pleasure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, thank you, sir. I will be possibly streaming again with you tomorrow. Speaking of, Geo, the movie canon, anything you want to plug or shout out, good sir?
Fizi, thank you for inviting me, even though it was much later. But I do appreciate it. And yeah, doing Figure Stock tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. PST. We're gonna have Mr. Dugito, his debut on the channel on Figure Stocks, so he'll be on there. But hope to see some of you guys there, or all of you guys in there. And I think some of you guys are actually going to be on the panel tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys, and Fizi, like always, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Anytime. And yeah, like Gio mentioned, I'll be on Figure Talk tomorrow. You catch me on there. What is that? June 19th. Was at 7:30 p.m. Pacific on the Movie Canon channel. I'll have the link, like I said, in the description to all my panelists' socials, including Gio's. Some of them are friends of the channel, so you can check out that section of my YouTube channel, like friends of the channel or something like that, and it has all the links to everybody's other YouTubers there. So check them out, show them some love if you like what they're doing, as well as their Instagrams or their Facebooks where applicable. As far as other figures or other videos, I should say, I am closing up and working on my next episode of Hot Talk. The next two figures of Hot Talk, that'll be episode 41 and 42, will be all Star Wars all the time.
Yes.
So
Awesome.
those will be my catch-up videos. Like I said, I'm catching up on the ones that I missed out like through April and May. So those will be similar to the previous episode I did of episode 40 Hot Talk. So yeah, just catching up on those figures. And then I am looking to start chilling and chatting again, the collectible edition. So look forward to that, or keep it locked on there. And then what else was there? I was just going to do like I mentioned, I am planning, quote unquote, on doing a video comparison preview of the InArt T800 versus the Hot Toys. Kind of do what I usually do, kind of go over the features of one and the other, and kind of show the comparisons and kind of compare contrast, basically go through that. So look for that on my channel. That'll probably be a pre-recorded video up there. So yeah, just keep it locked. Of course, subscribe, get the notifications if you're interested, and/or keep it locked on my socials, Facebook, Instagram, and I'll put up either posts or stories of when either the lives or the those videos go up. So thank you in advance. Appreciate your support. Thank you, everybody, for your time, as always. And again, just enjoy the hobby regardless, no matter what it is. Just enjoy the hobby, have fun, right? Because who knows how long we'll be on this on this Earth, this place we called Earth. Where's the third rock from the sun? But with that, take care. Have a good one, all. Love y'all.
All right,
Good
stay
night,
safe,
guys.
everyone.
Night.
Bye bye.
Good night.